What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul, bringing you the latest on Survivor Ghost Island, Episode 7. Okay, so we just came off of a tribal council where the Malolo tribe lost again, which was for they lost. What was this? The third time in a row, fourth time in a row now. Anyway, it's been getting pretty ridiculous with their constant losing, and they ended up blindsiding James, which was kind of it was either between him or Desiree, and they had to and Mike and him were not able to make the flip. Were not able to flip one of the others to their side. So you know, James was the one that got voted out. But what was surprising is that Mike actually also voted for him as well, which actually surprised him a lot. So you can see on his face that he was very shocked about it. But anyway, they get back from camp, and Mike's feeling depressed. And this is like the story of Mike. Like if we have if we have a storyline here of Survivor players that just kept on fighting and fighting, Mike would be way up there because oh my god, this guy has experienced so much freaking heartache in like the past. Really, it's only been like a week and a half in game, but that's how long it's been, like 10 days. But things are gonna look up for him because he goes out and looks for an idol, and he just does it blatantly at this point. Like he doesn't even care. And honestly, when you get right down to it, you can't really blame him for it because it's him versus the other three. So there's nothing he can really do, and there's nothing that he can say to them that would change their mind, at least through our perspective and probably his perspective, because he tried a lot by that point. So he looks for the idol, and he ends up finding the idol. See, Derek's in the chat. Hey, Derek, how you doing? Good to see you. So he ends up finding the immunity idol, and it was really. This is his second immunity idol, by the way, which is great. The first one he didn't use correctly, obviously, but this, we'll see what happens with this one. And the one that this is it's the fake idol that Ozzy made in season 16. That what's his name finds? Was it Jason who finds it, and then and then it ends up being used. It's one of the first fake idols that's used and then just thrown in the fire. It's just very. But now it's a real immunity idol that can be used. Hidden immunity idol. It's now a real hidden immunity idol and can be played, which is great for him because this is exactly what he needed at this point. Because if his tribe loses again, they're gonna vote him out. Like they made it very clear, the Malolo tribe last episode, they do not care about strength. They care purely about loyalty at this point, and tribal loyalty, like old tribal loyalty. Good job to Mike for finding the idol. If it was the three nativities, I would have followed Michael. Yeah, I mean it is good for Mike. I mean he really deserved this second idol. And he went out and looked for it, and lo and behold, he found it. So I have to say, good for him. Let's get to the reward challenge. Yeah, so this was a relatively interesting challenge because what they had to do we've seen this in plenty of Survivor seasons in the past, and I was hoping that they didn't. So good he got the. But I was hoping that they didn't. So good he got the idol. Yeah, I same here. Okay, so during the reward challenge, it's a challenge we've seen before. They all have to hold the rope and balance this floorboard, I guess, this circular floorboard, and they have to stack tiles up that say reward. They're playing for like steak and like chicken shish kebabs or chicken kebabs, however he says it, and like a grill for like the day. I guess it is just for the day, but yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff. But I won't talk too much about it. Just yeah, Malolo loses again. I mean that's basically what that challenge was. It was just hey, Malolo loses again. Navidi win, and See, everybody forgetting the name of the new tribe. Yanua wins again. I mean, Yanua is on a fucking like win streak like you wouldn't believe. I mean, obviously when you have like the 3 jackest guys on the entire season, plus Laurel, who's like a law student and total brainiac. But anyway, nonetheless, Malolo loses, and they're feeling disheartened at this point. I'll just stick with Malolo, and then I'll go tribe by tribe. So what Malolo actually ends up doing is when they get back to camp, they end up burning their Malolo flag, and it's like a symbolic thing. It's like getting rid of like the bad juju that's like that's on their island right now. I thought it was a rather interesting thing. I mean, let me know what you guys think down below about burning the Malolo flag. I mean, when it comes to the merge that's happening soon, which we all know is coming up next episode due to the scenes from next episode. I guess it doesn't really matter that they burned it, but it is an interesting little thing that happened during this episode. All right, so let's go into also with the reward challenge, Kellen gets sent back to Ghost Island, and honestly, she's the last person I wanted to go there. Oh yeah, Kellen went to Ghost Island. Yeah, Kellen went to Ghost Island, and you know what? She's the last person I wanted to go there because last time she went, she had an opportunity to get an advantage and she didn't take it. However, that ended up benefiting her for that specific vote. But still, she's not the one I wanted to go because you always go for the advantage. I feel. Even though it worked out last time, I think I'm being a hypocrite because I think I said during that episode that it ended up being the right decision. But anyway, nonetheless, I didn't want her there because I didn't think that she would take the advantage, but she ended up taking it. So she took the chance, and really, because she didn't take the advantage last time, and this is just my theory, because she didn't take the advantage last time, there was a 2 out of 3 shot of her getting an advantage. So that's demonstrably higher than like the 1 out of 3 that it was, or maybe it was 1 out of 2. Can't recall now. But yeah, so the advantage that she ends up getting is it's the advantage from Survivor Game Changers, the one that Sarah used to vote out Michaela when the advantage that was under Michaela's feet. If Malolo went to Tribal again that episode, I wonder what would have transpired. Mike would have used his immunity idol and voted out Desiree. Yeah, would have voted out Desiree. That's what I believe. Let me know what you think. But yeah, so she gets the advantage that was in Survivor Game Changers it was a steal a vote back then, and Sarah used it to steal Michaela's vote to vote her out, even though that was supposed to be Michaela's advantage, but she didn't find it because that's what happens when you don't look. And now it's just a regular extra vote. So now Kellen has an extra vote, and I believe that would have been her advantage if she got it. If she took it a few episodes ago, because I remember that the disadvantage was that if you got it wrong, if you picked wrong, you would lose your vote for the tribal. So I guess it would make sense that you lose a vote or you get an extra vote. So it really does make sense. And Kellen would have used the advantage to steal Michael's vote. I wonder who she would have picked between Des or Angie. Yeah, Kellen would have had the opportunity to steal Mike's vote. And not steal. It would have been an extra vote because it wasn't a steal a vote. It was an extra. The old advantage was a steal a vote. The new advantage is just an extra vote. She probably would have used it to tie it to vote out either Des or between Des or Ange. She would probably vote out Ange, in my humble opinion, and then it would go to a tiebreaker and. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, then Kellen would have to change her vote to Desiree because then it would have went to Rox. That would have been a cool tribal council if that happened. But again, that's only if Kellen got the sense. That's only the three of them got the sense that Mike had an immunity idol. That's the only way that would have happened. And if Kellen thought that she was leaving. Okay, so back to the episode. So yeah, Kellen gets her advantage, and good for her, honestly, because we have a lot of advantages in game right now. We have the legacy advantage that Dominic has. We have a couple of immunity idols still in play right now. Two of them were found in this episode. I'll get to Wendell's in a few minutes, and now we have this Steal a Vote. So things are really shaping up so far, and there's definitely gonna be a couple more coming into play soon. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so let's jump into the Navidi tribe. So really, the whole point of the Navidi tribe this episode was just portraying Bradley as being kind of like. It's hard to explain in words. He's kind of a dick, sure. He doesn't have good strategic timing with his words, I would say, or he doesn't think about the repercussions of what he says. I don't think he's saying anything that's intentionally malicious, but which is ironic for me to say, because back in episode 2, I was like shitting on the guy for being like so insulting. But yeah, I don't think he's saying anything that's intentionally mean. But he did rub his tribe the wrong way with Dominic specifically in regards to like setting up the fire, and because they got the food or whatever, and Bradley just really wanted to eat really quickly, and he didn't want people to and he got annoyed that people were talking instead of like setting up to cook the food that they want. So that was really his perspective there. Thanks for informing me. Yeah, no problem. All right, so yeah, it was just Bradley kind of being not very. I think I literally just wrote in my notes, Bradley pisses people off. People agree Bradley is a dick. And that's what happens. Like after that whole situation occurs, with Bradley kind of being a little annoying during the cooking situation, Dominic talks to Libby and Donathan, and they're like, "Hey, listen, we should probably just vote him out." And that's what Donathan thinks is the best idea right now. And Libby and Donathan are on the bottom right now in terms of original tribal alliances, which I'm not sure it means so much on this tribe. It means a lot on the Malolo tribe, but on this tribe it doesn't mean as much as it does on the Malolo tribe. But they kind of agree to vote Bradley out. And then we get to the Uinua tribe. So the Uinua, really the only thing they showed in the Uinua tribe was that Wendell looks for an idol. Like he takes the opportunity to, after eating, he kind of gets the idea that everyone's going to be tired and probably nap, which is good on him for realizing that. And he goes off searching for an idol. He finds a clue first to an idol, and then he finds the idol, which ends up being, I want to give up individual immunity to Natalie. I just want to say, Survivor has been utilizing that same. I want to just call it a soundbite. That same soundbite, like the past 10 years, it's been used over and over and over again. Like the amount of times we've probably all heard, "I want to give individual immunity to Natalie." We've heard that like so many goddamn times. But now it's time to break the curse, because Wendell finds the immunity idol that Eric gives to Natalie during that famous tribal council back in season 16, which is kind of interesting because 2 of the advantages found today were from season 16. So that's kind of an interesting little tidbit there. But yeah, so that's really so what's interesting about this idol is that it was the immunity idol at one point. Like it was like the individual immunity idol. So it's like this huge fucking thing. Excuse my language. It's like this huge thing, and I'm like just thinking to myself, how is he gonna hide this? How's he gonna like walk into tribal one day? What's he gonna do? Like it's not like he can stick it in his bag or anything. He has to legitimately like hide it under the earth, probably. Like I'm just like we're watching him wear it during the during like the confessional, and I'm just like this thing is huge. It's like so obscure. And I want you to compare this immunity idol to the one that Mike has. It's you have a stick, like a stick that's like this big, like it's like the smallest stick in the world, compared to this huge like neck, like I don't even know what it's called, like a neck brace type thing. It's just so ridiculous. I don't think they should have made that a hidden immunity idol, just for the pure reason that it's harder to hide than a normal immunity idol. I mean that's just what I think. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Yeah, same thing with Michael's idol. Yep. Yeah. Season 16. I mean, it's just it was a good season. A lot of mistakes were made, and let's see if Mike and Wendell can reverse the curse, as they say. Okay, let's get to the tribal, the immunity challenge. So this one involved swimming, collecting rings, and throwing the rings. Mike went ham for Malolo. Like he was second to go, and Malolo was really behind because Kellen went first. And I don't know why they made Kellen go first. I think that was a really stupid idea because she just came back from Ghost Island. She's probably exhausted. If it was me, I probably would have had Angela and Mike go. I mean, the girl's in the was in the military. Like she's fit. Like she can do the swimming. But well, what do I know, right? I mean, I'm not the one in charge here. But yeah. So Malolo was behind, and Mike catches up like really, really well. Also, Chris does really well this challenge with the swimming. Sebastian does with the swimming. I mean, they just all do a really, really good job. So then we get to the throwing, and you knew it wins. You knew it was the first team that wins, and it's not like anyone's surprised. They have the biggest jocks on their team, so of course they're gonna win. Like there's no shocker there. Looks like they reversed the curse by burning the flag. Yeah, that's right. And Malolo, it's who's throwing for Navidi? Donathan was throwing for Navidi, and Mike was throwing for Malolo. And Mike nails it at the end. He gets it, and Malolo and Yanua win immunity. And Malolo breaks the curse by burning the flag, just like Derek in the chat just said. And honestly, good for them. So now Navidi is going to tribal council. And we've only seen this conflict with Bradley this episode. So it's not something that's been brought up. Well, it was technically brought up multiple episodes ago, but that was from the old Malolo tribe, who were all gone at this point, except for Mike. And he's not on that tribe anymore anyway. So yeah. So that's the only time there's been conflict on that tribe with Bradley. But so they get back, and really Dominic is having a hard time choosing between Libby and forgot the name now, and Bradley. Yes, those two. One, Bradley, he was aligned with from early on in the game, and Libby, I mean, Libby burned him basically. Like Libby totally backstabbed Morgan and voted her out in favor of her alliance. And it's just a bit, and he feels. I mean, it's hard for him to forget that. Although you have to remember that if Morgan wasn't voted out, Dominic would not have the legacy advantage right now. So I just want to remind everyone of that. So yeah, it's really Chelsea and Dominic that kind of have to make the decision on who they want to vote out between. Libby, her name is Libby, right? Okay, it is Libby. I was like, I have to make sure it's Libby. Okay, um, between Libby and Bradley, and to me, it was kind of a no-brainer decision, and I'm going to explain why. Um, because Donathan has a good relationship with Libby, somewhat out of necessity. But if Dominic voted out Libby this episode, that he would have strained his relationship with Donathan. If you remember a few episodes ago, um, I thought about this a lot during the episode, like which would be the better decision between voting out Libby or voting out Bradley. At first, I thought Bradley might have been the right decision, but thinking about it again, you get more by voting out Bradley and keeping Libby, because you keep Donathan on your side, and through Donathan you have Laurel, so you're already good on that front. That's already 5 people that they have. Plus, they have Wendell, which is 6. So, how many people are there now? 13 after this episode. I can think of this. I can think of those 6, and that's just off the top of my head right now. I'm sure they have others. God, I hope they have others. And they probably almost definitely have Mike too. Like think about it. They definitely have Mike too. So they're good to go. Dom's good to go. And I also want to remind you that 3 people on that group of 7 have an immunity idol. So, by the way, this is also my prediction on how the tribal lines are going to be broken down next episode. I do think there's going to be a little schism where Donathan's maybe the middle votes and has to decide whether he wants to vote with Chris or vote with Dominic. I do think that will occur next episode, because there was that episode where they were like really where Chris and Donathan were really connecting, and they don't show that. They show that for a reason. Like they show it to build up to what I suspect will be next episode. Although, again, this is just my opinion. I could be completely off the. I could be completely out there, with this. I could be completely wrong. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to let's get to the tribal council. So they get the tribal, and it's really Dom basically says, yeah, Libby burned me, but it's also about like harmony and like the tribe or whatever. And Bradley's like some at some point during the immunity, at some point during the tribal council, Bradley's like, yeah, I mean, I think we're a very cohesive unit. We all really get along a lot, and I think he really does. I think he really did believe that, because and it goes back to what I said before. I don't think anything Bradley said this episode was meant to be intentionally malicious. And it pains me to say that because during the episode 2 recap, when I basically said he's being intentionally malicious. Do you think it would have been better for Dom's game to vote out Libby instead? Keeping Bradley would have been a good shield, since a lot of people are annoyed by him, and it would have saved them for. Okay, here's my viewpoint on. Here's the benefits of keeping Bradley. He's a target ahead of you, which is a plus, and he's someone that's good to drag to the end, because he's probably going to burn a lot of people. So I was seriously considering, like it to me, it's what you want more out of the game. It's, do you want the numbers, or do you want to put yourself in a position to have an ally that's less likable than you, that's a target ahead of you, and if you make it to the end together, you'll beat him. I mean, some would say it's too early to make that call. to take that person. And I think that's the case. I think it was safer for Dominic to stick with the numbers with keeping Libby. Now, will Libby reciprocate this? It remains to be seen. We'll see what Donathan does next episode too. Again, there's a great relationship between him and Chris. And really, that's going to be the schism. Not that I said schism like twice already. That's going to be the big divide. Paul, that's just another word for schism. That's going to be the big divide next episode. It's going to be between Chris and Dom, and who has who. That's the question. We already have a good idea who Dom has, and I think it's those six, plus possibly he can grab Mike. That's who he has. Okay, so I think I'm going to end it there. My prediction for who goes next, I don't think it's Dom, and I don't think it's Chris. That's all I can say. Not they're the two that are fighting, but I don't think either of them are going to leave. And I also don't want either of them to leave, because those two had some of the most intense story development and character development on the show thus far. So it would be very disappointing without them left. By the way, also Dominic's legacy advantage will technically work next episode. So he could use it if he's in trouble. Or someone could use Immunity Idol, one of their like 3 that I suspect their side will have. Yeah, you can't really expect the outcome of the next weeks to come, although I suppose you could say there's benefits to keeping either or. I mean, you have to weigh your options. I mean, that's all you can do. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank you guys for watching so much. If you enjoy my content, which really is just me at this point, like, you know, where's Dave? Where's Chris? They're nowhere to be found. I see Patty's in the chat. Hey, Patty, how you doing? So if you enjoy our content, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. YouTube has changed its policy recently, where now we need 1,000 subscribers in order to be monetized. Oh, so we are now no longer monetized. So please help us get to 1,000 subscribers so we can re-monetize our videos. If you want to support us monetarily, please check out our Patreon link in the description box down below. Please, if you donate $3 or more, I will personally shout out your name at the end of every single video that we do. And speaking of shout outs, I want to give a shout out to Patty, Peggy, and Peter, which, you know, the 3 big P's supporting the other P, Paul. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what about Reality Room Podcast that just attracts people with names that start with a P. But anyway, I want to thank you 3 so much for supporting our channel. And you know, I hope to make even more great content for you guys in the future with your help. I want to thank you guys all for watching. And again, link to Patreon down in the description box below. I want to thank you guys for watching. I think it's like the 5th time I thanked you. But until next week, peace.